Within hours of his arrival, the former president did what few other world leaders, past or present, have ever done: met with North Korea's leader, Kim Jong II. A rare rolling out of the official red carpet, with pictures North Korea quickly provided to the outside world, and with claims already in dispute. The North says Clinton courteously conveyed a verbal message from President Obama. The White House says not true, that Clinton had no such message. Indeed, U.S. officials insist this is a personal trip, not official. One reason his plane had no markings. The mission successfully secured the freedom of both American journalists, who allegedly crossed into North Korea and, after a hasty trial, were sentenced to 12 years of hard labor. They were working for media company Current TV, co-owned by Clinton's Vice President Al Gore, who reportedly asked Clinton to go. Ling's sister Lisa Ling, also a journalist, organized rallies for the women's release.
That's why we are all out here tonight, to ask for amnesty, but also to ask for forgiveness.
The women were arrested on March 17th, and since then, tensions have soared. North Korea tested a long-range ballistic missile on April 5th. It then tested a small nuclear device the next month. On June 12th, the UN responded with unanimous economic sanctions. For all that, North Korea could enhance its international stature because it let the women go.
They're playing all sides of this very well. They've held these two women, had a kangaroo trial, and have basically used them as diplomatic pawns.
Kim reportedly suffered a stroke last year and may be battling pancreatic cancer. Some think he is raising tensions with the nuclear arms program as a way of securing the leader's job for his youngest son, or a way of protesting ever-tightening international sanctions. North Korea only makes a deal when it expects to get something, so you have to wonder what it expects for releasing these journalists, because it will demand something. Katie?
Barry Petersen. Barry, thanks very much. For the families of Laura Ling and Yuna Lee, the past 4.5 months had to be excruciating. Late today, they put out a joint statement saying, "We're overjoyed by the news of their pardon. We especially want to thank President Bill Clinton for taking on such an arduous mission, and Vice President Al Gore for his tireless efforts to bring Laura and Yuna home. We are counting the seconds to hold Laura and Yuna in our arms." Bill Richardson is governor of New Mexico as well as a veteran diplomat. He helped win the release of Americans from North Korea back in the 1990s. Governor, I understand you talked with Lisa Ling, Laura Ling's sister, this afternoon. Can you tell us briefly about that conversation?
Yes, I did talk to Lisa. She was ecstatic that the two women were coming home, one of them her sister, because they have been 5 months. This is the longest captivity of an American by the North Koreans. There was a lot of mental anguish. There was concern that the two women were going to go to a forced labor camp. But it seems that the North Koreans were treating them well. They were in a guest house. They allowed access of phone calls to the families. They also allowed the Swedish ambassador to visit, but the families are ecstatic. It's like a long nightmare is over. I've been in touch with them continuously for the last 5 months, and it's finally going to end, and hopefully the reunion will happen very, very soon.
And Governor, why do you think Kim Jong-il returned these two journalists at this moment in time?
Because, first of all, I think he is right now domestically trying to get support. He has right now a succession issue in North Korea, trying to decide which one of his sons takes over. And getting President Clinton to come, which was a goal of his for many years when President Clinton was president, is something that he wanted badly. And he felt that in order to get the two journalists out, it was going to take a major American figure as an envoy to get the two women released. And this is why it's taken so long. The Obama administration has, in my judgment, very effectively tried to negotiate the release. And then giving it to somebody like President Clinton outside the government who has enormous prestige. Kim Jong-il gets a lot of juice out of this because of the stature of President Clinton, but we get the two women back, and there's a lessening of tensions, and possibly the two leaders discuss maybe ways that we can start talking to each other, not negotiating on nuclear issues, but talking to each other, because the relationship has been frozen the worst that I've ever seen for the past few months.
So what does this mean? Will this unfreeze relationships, or the relationship between the U.S. and North Korea? Does this provide an opening for the Obama administration?
It provides an opening on both sides. The problem has been North Korea not wanting to talk to anybody. And so what it is a cooling of relations, simply talking, both countries talking to each other without necessarily negotiating is the next step.
All right, Governor Bill Richardson of New Mexico. Governor, thanks so much for talking with us tonight.
Thank you.